Hello, the Building Sheriff here. We are now going to cover how to paint skirting boards with top coat. By top coat, I mean any gloss paint. That can be eggshell, satin wood, full gloss. I'm not talking quick drying. You get a much better professional result with an oil-based paint. I'm assuming a few things here. Firstly, that the boards have been properly prepared. They've been sanded, they've been undercoated, they've been filled, they've been sanded again and dusted off. Dust is our enemy here. We need a clean brush. I know this looks like it's been used quite a bit, but it's clean. I washed it up in white spirit and there are no bits in this. Bits will be the ruination of your skirting boards. If you paint them and you've got dust, you go close up, they will look absolutely terrible and you're going to have to start again. Right, first tip, when using gloss paint, if you just put the gloss paint on, out of the tin, straight out, take the lid off and just start painting, you'll find that it won't go on very well and you'll think that's because of your painting abilities. However, it's very thick. It comes as a gloopy consistency that does not go well onto the boards straight out of the can. So what's the answer? White spirit. What you need to do is open your white spirit, add a little dash to the top, stir it around, you'll get a smoother, slightly thinner consistency, and then that will make the cutting in so much easier. And the other two vital additions to a painter's armoury is sandpaper. Keep your sandpaper with you, and if you're painting and you see any little nibs, don't paint over the top, don't be lazy, give it a quick sand, and then your dusting brush. This can be any old brush, but it needs to be clean. It can have dust in it, but it can't have grit in it. And then once you've sanded something, just dust it off. And to be honest, I use this as I go along. I'll do a metre length, and then the next metre length, I'll dust forwards. The dust won't come backwards, just dust gently forwards. Before you start any painting, you need to get the vacuum out. Get this on. Vacuum along the top of the skirtings, vacuum along where the skirting meets the carpet or where the skirting meets the unfinished floor. This is vital. You think it's going to be clean, but there will be dust there and that will ruin a good job. So preparation really is key. What you want to do is dip your brush into the paint about half an inch, quarter of an inch. So your paint is on the end of the brush there, and you need to wipe one side off. There you go. Now the side with the paint on is on the top when you paint, and you apply this slowly, 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 just a few millimeters away from your cutting line, i.e. where the skirting board meets the wall. The next thing is to add paint. Don't worry about scraping it off either side. That then goes on the main body of the skirting board in long strokes. Okay, from working from the top down, but don't hit the bottom yet. There you go, nice long strokes. And then finally, another little bit, and you're effectively cutting in again. You're cutting in at the bottom of the skirting board down to the floor. And again, what you do is you reach down to the bottom, and then you find your position and you just draw along. All of this painting will have given you different lines on there. It's not smooth yet. This is where a pro will now do what's called a laying off. To lay off, you have an empty brush and you just draw the brush along top, and then next stroke just below, and the final stroke down the bottom. And there you can see that is a perfectly smooth finish. So there we have it, painting skirting boards, easier than you think. If you've got carpets, then have a look at my How to Mask Carpets When Painting Skirting Boards. I know it's a catchy title, it's a must-see. So they're your tips. No dust, good consistency of paint, use some white spirit, 2-inch brush, use a decent brush, make sure it's clean. If you do find any bits in there, stick your finger on them, they'll come off, and lay it off. And then go back to your paint work after 5 minutes or after each run, when you've done the next run, go back and then just check for any runs, and if you have, just lay it off, and that's the beauty of using gloss. Do not buy the non-drip gloss. That stuff is rubbish. Within 2 minutes, it has this kind of film over it, that if you break that, if you try and lay it off, you can't, and you get in all kinds of mess. So trust yourself and use a decent paint. There you go, how to paint skirtings.